Capricorn. What is leaving your life right now may be the exact thing that was blocking your blessing. August 1st brings a powerful shift for you, Capricorn. The universe may be clearing away hidden obstacles, old energy, painful delays. Stay with me until the end, because what is changing right now could be preparing you for something bigger than you can currently see. 1. August 1st opens a powerful new chapter. Something has been shifting inside you, Capricorn, quietly, steadily. Maybe you've felt it in your chest before you could put words to it. Something ending, something changing, something you can no longer pretend not to notice. You are not imagining it. The beginning of August can feel like a doorway, not a loud one, not a dramatic one. A quiet doorway that opens while you're still standing in the room you thought you'd live in forever. And here is what I want you to sit with, Capricorn. The changes happening in your life right now may not be random. They may be revealing something that has been quietly blocking your progress for longer than you realized. You've worked hard, you've stayed disciplined, you've carried more than most people ever see, and still, something has felt just out of reach, not gone, not impossible, just delayed, just slightly out of your grasp, no matter how tightly you tried to hold on. That is about to change, not because you suddenly did something different, but because the ground beneath you is shifting, and what no longer belongs in your life is starting to fall away on its own. This is not punishment. This is preparation. August 1st is not asking you to force anything. It's asking you to notice, to pay attention to what is leaving, what is arriving, and what is finally becoming clear after months, maybe years, of feeling unclear. You are entering a new chapter, Capricorn, and this chapter does not begin with more effort. It begins with release. 2. The universe is clearing. What no longer fits here is something you already know, even if you haven't said it out loud. Some things become too small for the person you are becoming. A habit that once protected you now holds you back. A belief that once made sense now feels heavy in your hands. A situation that once felt safe now feels like a room with no windows. People can outgrow spaces the way they outgrow old clothes, quietly, without warning, until one day the fit is simply wrong. And Capricorn, this is happening to you. But here is the part that matters most. Release does not always happen gently. Sometimes it happens through distance. A friend who slowly stops calling. A relationship that grows quiet in ways you can't quite explain. Sometimes it happens through delay. A plan that keeps getting pushed back no matter how carefully you organize it. Sometimes it happens through disagreement, through friction, through moments that leave you unsettled and asking, why is this happening now? These moments can feel like loss. I understand that, but they are also revealing something important. They are showing you what was never fully aligned with who you're becoming. An ending is not always a punishment, Capricorn. Sometimes it is simply the universe removing a wall you built so long ago, you forgot it was even there. You don't have to force the goodbye. You don't have to chase what is pulling away. You only have to trust that what fits, what truly fits, is not something you have to grip so tightly. What is meant for you will not require you to shrink yourself to keep it. 3. The delay was preparing you. I know this season hasn't been easy. You have worked. You have shown up again and again, often without applause, often without anyone noticing the quiet effort behind the scenes. And still, the results didn't come as quickly as you hoped. That kind of waiting is exhausting for anyone. But for you, Capricorn, it can feel almost unbearable, because you are someone who believes in earning your outcomes. You believe that hard work should be met with visible progress. So when the progress doesn't show up on schedule, it's easy to wonder if something is wrong with you, if you're doing something wrong, if you're simply not enough. You are not. Here is the truth I want you to hold on to. Some periods of waiting are not empty. They are quietly building something inside you that cannot be rushed. Wisdom, emotional strength, discipline, clarity. The delay was not empty, Capricorn. Something inside you was growing while the outside remained quiet. Think about the version of you from a year ago, even 6 months ago. You have changed. You see things differently now. You respond differently. You understand people, situations, and even yourself with a depth you didn't have before. That didn't happen by accident. That happened in the waiting. The universe was not punishing your patience. It was using it, shaping you into someone capable of holding what is coming. Because what is coming will require the version of you that only this delay could create. 4. A hidden block is coming into the light. Sometimes the biggest obstacle in our life is not something happening to us. It's something quietly living inside us. I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment, Capricorn. Not harsh, just honest. Is there a fear of failure that keeps you from starting something you actually want? Is there a fear of success? A quiet worry about what changes once you actually get what you asked for? Is there overthinking, turning every decision into 10 more questions before you allow yourself to move? Is there perfectionism, convincing you that nothing is ready until it's flawless? Which means nothing is ever ready at all. Is there old pain you've been carrying so long it started to feel like a permanent part of your identity, instead of something that happened to you? Is there a familiar situation, a job, a relationship, a routine that you stay in simply because it's known, even though it quietly drains you? Or is there a belief buried deep that rest must be earned, that you are not allowed to slow down until everything is finished? That your worth is measured only by your output? Capricorn, I want you to notice, without judgment, what you continue to hold, even though it repeatedly drains you. That pattern is not who you are. It's something you picked up along the way, and things that were picked up can be put down. This is the block coming into the light, not to shame you, to free you. 5. You may be outgrowing certain people. Growth has a way of revealing people, not in a dramatic, obvious way, in small, quiet ways that add up over time. As you change, you may start to notice who respects your boundaries and who only feels comfortable around you when you're sacrificing your own needs to keep the peace. I want to be clear about something, Capricorn. This doesn't mean every person who feels distant right now is a bad person, or that every relationship going through change should end. That's not what this is about. This is about observing patterns. Notice who celebrates you without needing to compete with you. Notice who can sit with your success without making it about themselves. Notice who respects a no from you the same way they'd want their own no respected. And notice gently whether relationship only works when you're the one bending. This isn't about cutting people off in anger. It's about protecting your energy with clarity instead of guilt. You are allowed to choose relationships that feel mutual, relationships that feel emotionally safe, relationships where you don't have to shrink, perform, or overgive just to be accepted. If someone in your life has been showing you, gently and repeatedly, that they can't meet you where you're growing, that information is not an attack. It's simply information. What you do with it is your choice, but you no longer have to pretend you don't see it. 6. The old version of you is being released. There is a version of you, Capricorn, that has carried everything. The one who fixes every problem before anyone else even notices it exists. The one who stays quiet about their own needs so nothing feels heavier for anyone else. The one who proves their worth through constant work, constant output, constant motion. That version of you has done so much. It got you through things most people will never fully understand, but it is also tired, and it may be time to let it rest. Strength does not only look like carrying more. Sometimes strength looks like receiving help, even when it feels unfamiliar. Sometimes strength looks like setting a boundary, even when your instinct is to avoid conflict. Sometimes strength looks like changing direction, even after you've already invested so much time in the old one. And sometimes, Capricorn, strength looks like allowing life to become easier, not because you stopped trying, but because you finally believe you're allowed to receive without earning it first. This release is not a loss of who you are, it's an evolution of it. You are not abandoning your discipline, your work ethic, or your loyalty. You are simply releasing the belief that you have to suffer in order to deserve good things. That belief was never true, and it's leaving you now, whether you consciously chose it or not. 7. Your blessing needs room to enter. Imagine a room so full of furniture, boxes, and clutter that there's no space left to walk through it, let alone bring anything new inside. That's what it can feel like when we carry too much for too long. Guilt from things that weren't fully our fault. Resentment toward people or situations we haven't fully processed. Outdated goals we're still chasing out of habit, not desire. Emotional clutter. Responsibilities that exhaust us more than they fulfill us. Before something valuable can enter a room, Capricorn, the room has to have space. This is what's happening in your life right now. The universe isn't just taking things away for no reason, it's clearing a room. Space is not emptiness. Space is potential. An empty shelf is not sad, it's ready. A quiet calendar is not lonely, it's open. A relationship that ended is not only a loss, it's also space. Space for something that fits you better. So instead of panicking at what feels empty right now, try asking a different question. What is this space preparing to hold? You may not see the answer yet. That's okay. You don't need to see the whole picture to trust that the clearing is intentional. Let the room breathe, Capricorn. Something is coming that needs the space you're creating. 8. A career or financial opportunity may begin quietly. I want to be careful here because I'm not going to promise you sudden wealth or an overnight success story. That's not how real opportunities usually work. And you, more than any sign, respect honesty over hype. What I will say is this: the coming period may bring a new idea, a clearer sense of direction, a useful connection you didn't expect, a responsibility that stretches you in a good way, a skill you finally have time to develop, or an opportunity that looks small at first but opens into something bigger than it initially appeared. These openings often don't arrive with fireworks. They arrive quietly. A conversation that plants a seed, an idea you almost dismissed, a door that's only open a crack. Your task right now is not to force a breakthrough. It's to stay organized, stay alert, and notice these small openings when they appear. If you feel drawn to improve a skill, follow that instinct. If a connection feels genuinely useful, nurture it. If a realistic opportunity shows up, even a modest one, consider taking a thoughtful, grounded step toward it. You don't need to gamble everything on a single moment. You need to keep showing up with your eyes open, ready to recognize the opening when it appears. Quiet beginnings often build the most stable outcomes, Capricorn. Let this one begin quietly and let it grow at its own pace. 9. Your intuition is becoming stronger. Have you noticed a thought returning to you again and again? Not an anxious spiral, a calm, persistent knowing that keeps showing up no matter how many times you try to set it aside. That may be your intuition speaking louder than usual right now. Pay attention to repeated thoughts, strong inner feelings that don't quite fit logic but feel undeniably true. Patterns you keep noticing, the same message showing up in different forms from different places. There may be a quiet sense that something needs to change, not panic, just a steady inner nudge. Your intuition is not meant to replace your judgment, Capricorn. It's meant to work alongside it. This is actually where you shine. You are someone who can feel something deeply and still think clearly about it. So instead of dismissing these signals or acting on them impulsively, try writing them down. Notice which thoughts keep returning over days or weeks. Look for the pattern, not just the single moment. When intuition and practical judgment work together, you make decisions from a place of grounded clarity, not fear and not fantasy. Trust what keeps returning to you. It's trying to tell you something. 10. Stop carrying what was never yours. Capricorn, I need you to hear this clearly, because I don't think anyone has said it to you plainly enough. You do not have to carry everyone else's problems. Somewhere along the way, you may have learned that caring for someone means absorbing their pain, fixing their situation, managing their emotions, or preventing their disappointment. You may have quietly taken on other people's expectations as if they were your own responsibility to fulfill. But caring for someone does not require carrying their entire life. You can love someone and still let them face their own consequences. You can support someone and still protect your own peace. You can be present for someone's pain without making it your job to solve it. I want you to imagine just for a moment setting something down, not abandoning anyone, just setting down the invisible weight you've been holding that was never actually yours to carry. Someone else's guilt is not your guilt. Someone else's disappointment in their own life is not evidence that you failed them. Someone else's unmet expectations of you do not have to become your permanent burden. You are allowed to put this down, Capricorn. You have carried enough, and what you release today does not make you less loving. It makes you finally able to breathe. 11. The universe may be redirecting you. Sometimes a door closes, and it feels like the end of something you wanted badly. But a closed door can also be a redirection, not a punishment, not proof that you weren't good enough, simply a signal that this particular path was not the one meant to carry you forward. I'm not going to tell you this is destiny, or that everything happens for a cosmic reason you'll understand someday. I don't know that, and I won't pretend to. What I can say is this: when a plan changes unexpectedly, it often reveals something you couldn't see while you were still walking the original path. A new skill you didn't know you'd need. A relationship you wouldn't have made room for otherwise. A version of purpose that fits you better than the one you were chasing. Redirection asks something specific of you, Capricorn: flexibility. Not abandoning your goals, not giving up the moment things get difficult. Just staying open enough to notice when a no is actually pointing you somewhere more useful. Look back at your life for a moment. Think about a closed door from years ago that once felt devastating. Did it eventually lead you somewhere you needed to be? This may be one of those moments. Not proof of fate, just an invitation to stay open, keep learning, and recognize opportunity, even when it doesn't look the way you expected. 12. What Capricorn must release before moving forward. This is the part I want you to really sit with, Capricorn. Release the need to control every outcome. You can plan, you can prepare, but you cannot control everything. And the exhaustion you feel is partly from trying to. Release the pressure to constantly prove your worth. You do not need another achievement to be enough. You already are enough, exactly as you are, right now, before the next accomplishment arrives. Release the fear of beginning again. Starting over is not failure. It is often the bravest thing a person can do. Release old disappointment. The moments that didn't go the way you hoped do not have to define what happens next. You are allowed to let them stay in the past. Release relationships where you do all the emotional work. You deserve reciprocity. You deserve people who show up for you the way you show up for them. Take a breath here, Capricorn. You do not have to release all of this today. You don't have to release it perfectly. You only have to be willing to start putting it down, one piece at a time. This is not about becoming someone new. It's about finally becoming light enough to move forward as who you already are. 13. Your next blessing may look different. Here is something important to prepare for, Capricorn. Your next positive chapter may not arrive in the exact form you expected. You may have pictured a specific outcome, a particular job, a particular relationship, a particular moment of recognition. And it's okay to want those things, but sometimes the blessing arrives differently. It may begin as peace, a quiet sense of calm you haven't felt in a long time. It may begin as clarity, finally understanding what you actually want instead of what you thought you were supposed to want. It may begin as confidence, a new connection, a practical opportunity that doesn't look glamorous but feels right. It may even begin as the courage to choose a healthier path, even if that path is less certain than the one you're used to. I'm not asking you to abandon your common sense or accept just anything that comes your way. I'm asking you to stay open to the possibility that good can arrive in an unfamiliar shape. If you only watch for the exact outcome you imagined, you might miss the one that's actually walking toward you right now. Let it look different, Capricorn. Let it surprise you. 14. The final August 1st message for Capricorn. You do not have to force every answer today. You do not have to have your entire future mapped out before you're allowed to feel okay. You do not have to fix everything, carry everything, or prove everything all at once. You can release what is heavy. You can trust the lessons you've already earned, because you have earned them, through every difficult season you didn't ask for, but walked through anyway. You can protect your energy without guilt. You can take one grounded step at a time, instead of trying to leap toward a finish line that keeps moving. You have been strong for so long, and you can still be strong while also being soft, while also resting, while also allowing help. So here is what I want you to remember long after this video ends. What is being removed may not be your blessing. It may be the wall that kept you from seeing it. Capricorn, if something is leaving your life right now, do not immediately believe that you are losing your future. Some things must move away so you can finally see the path clearly. August 1st is a reminder to release what drains you, honour what you have learned, and make room for healthier opportunities. You have carried enough. Now allow your next chapter to be built with clarity, peace, and purpose. If this message resonated with you, comment, "I release what blocks my blessing, and I welcome what is meant for me." Then like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Capricorn guidance. Share this message with another Capricorn who may need to hear that an ending can be the beginning of something better.